Shalom Aleichem, guys. This lesson is dedicated to full healing of my wife Esther Batya and our friend Jill. And we're talking about the garden of healing here. And this section talks about how to strengthen one's emunah, one's faith in Hashem. And the simplest approach to difficulty, when we have one, is to believe in the power of emunah and to be honest and introspective. So just to go and be sincere about it. Just sincerely turn to Hashem and ask Hashem to show you, to hear you, and to illuminate in your mind what is needed in this situation. Even if you don't have emunah at all, and you think that prayer is a waste of time, because no one hears you anyway, and that the very idea of praying is no different than talking to oneself like a crazy person, nonetheless, I want you to try the following exercise. Just say these words with complete sincerity. Hashem, I want to believe in you. I want to recognize you. I know that I can't see you, but I know that I can ask you to do things to show me that you hear me. Therefore, please do such and such for me, and please honor my requests. Specifically, ask Hashem to help you in all the areas of your life that have been problematic, that have been challenging, and that appear to be impossible to solve. Don't be surprised if suddenly you see that things are changing. And the only possible explanation is that the prayer is making a difference. Continue speaking to Hashem, and you'll find that the more you speak to Hashem, the more Hashem will help you strengthen your emunah, and the more you'll recognize how Hashem is impacting your life. Even if the first or second time one attributes these changes to luck, ultimately he'll be forced to admit that God is really hearing him and he's getting his requests, granting his requests. A person who follows this path will clearly see, if he really wants to, just what emunah is. The key is to go through this process with honest intention, wanting to believe in Hashem and to recognize his role in our lives, that he listens to every word that we say, and that he will fulfill our every request, giving us reason to believe in him. So it's very special because a lot of times Hashem answers things for me that I know that he's doing it to show me that he really cares about me. Because in the past I would assume that, I would think, okay, Hashem loves me, right? I would know that theoretically, but I didn't really feel that he's like personally in my life. He's really there for me, and also I didn't think that he really needed to grant my request. Like he didn't really need to answer me. Like I thought, wow, he's an infinite creator somewhere out there, and I'm doing my best, but I'm not going to hear him, right? I'm not a prophet. Well, you're wrong. Of course, voices aren't going to come from heaven. They might, right? We're absolutely not excluding anything. Hashem can do everything. But for myself, if voices came out of heaven, I would think I'm crazy. It would scare me. So Hashem doesn't communicate that way with me because he knows that just is not going to work for me. Of course, you need to have, purity and holiness and tremendous wisdom and everything to be a person that can hear voices from heaven. But in the Talmud, it talks a lot about that, every day there's a voice from heaven that comes and says this. And it's been like that since the day of, the day the world was created. Every day it goes like that. But, so it's not like a big deal. For us, it's all the worlds are connected. But for me, that wouldn't make any sense. I feel I'm crazy. So Hashem God talks to me in the way that I can accept it. So if I ask him for something and I can clearly see, like, all of a sudden, boom, I have the answer to why this was happening or what to do with the situation, then I can attribute that right away to God. Then I can say, wow, Hashem, thank you so much. And that's what builds our relationship. That's how we can communicate and understand each other. So for people that say that God doesn't answer me, I tell you guys, if you ever try talking to him, and for people that say, oh, I've talked to him plenty times, and da-da-da, I would say, listen, guys, use the formula that we set out, that all the rabbis talk about. There's a formula. First you start with gratitude, you start thanking Hashem. Then you admit, and you just admit on your mistakes and say, here's what I've done, and become accountable to Hashem and to yourself. And third, ask for what you need humbly. That's a 3-step formula. Make sure that you don't fall into sadness, that you don't fall into a temper tantrum with God, and make sure that you go with sincerity. And also, nothing happens overnight. Continue going. Hashem wants to see your sincere effort. He wants to see that you really care, that you're not doing this to get the reward. And slowly you'll find that the sweetness of the relationship with Hashem is much more overpowering than the little things that you're praying for. So the sweetness of that relationship will carry you forward your whole life. That's the greatest pleasure there is to have a connection with Hashem, to have a relationship with Hashem. Much greater than everything else. And, it's really good to ask what you need. It's important. But also, you'll find that it's, even if you're not answered right away, the sweetness of that developed relationship, you'll have a feeling that you're being heard. You'll have a feeling that you matter. You have a feeling that you're loved. And that's an indescribable, amazing feeling. And that would be like, for me, it's been an immediate, a lot of the times, an immediate benefit of talking to Hashem. That even if I don't get what I need, what I asked for, right? I don't get what I asked for right away. But teaching me patience, teaching me humility, and really helps me to love Hashem, to really feel Him, to feel His love for me also. I love you guys very much. And talk to Hashem 5 minutes a day. I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.